woke up with a terrible cold, guys. I have to go to my meetings like this. But the benefit is, now I'm not gonna have quite as much energy, but I'll have, you know, energy like a normal person instead of my normal self. And the rest of my videos, you guys are gonna get the this summer voice. The Taipei 101 right there, all the way up to the sky. Now there's exhibits over there, and there's exhibits in halls on both sides of the street, and then there's another convention center across town, and then tons of people come and get suites here because you can have a ton of space in a suite for a lower price. Let's go crash some parties without invitation. Those fucking cappuccinos are like $90. All right, we're hitting up the 11th floor first. All kinds of people. They're having like a wedding or something over here at Patriot. Let's go in there and see what's up. They have so much stuff. It's ridiculous. Let's go through it. This is the Viper V7700, and this one has a more minimal footprint than some of the gaming things, but still has the gaming aesthetic, you know. And then it's also full RGB. You got your macro keys over here, up on the top there, and you can program pretty much everything in the software. You got the software up here. Let's see if I can show you that. Program everything, you know, program the RGB, whatever, on the software. Play with your macros in the software. Right over here, I actually really like these media keys. Up and down right there. So you toggle up and down for, you know, next track, previous track, volume is right here on a roller. So that's the top of line, the big V7700. Let's swing over and look at the this is the V730. This only has one color. It's a little bit more minimal. Doesn't have quite all the bells and whistles, but still has a nice aesthetic. You guys can be the judge of this. These are both Kale switches, browns, reds, you know, you can grab them in whatever you need. Now, this is kind of interesting. This stand here, I know a lot of people are like, oh, there's a headset right there. Yeah, there's a headset. It's actually pretty comfortable. Put it on. I didn't listen to it, so I'm not sure. But the actual stand itself has three USB 3.1 ports. So, whole hub in there, like a pass-through. And there's also an audio jack in there as well. Get your damn headphones off the desk. Put them on this. I really like the fact that there's a hub there. I'm like kind of needing that thing right now. Gotta have RGB on all the things. So, got their RGB mouse pad here. I've just got a few new mice here, 560, 570, 530. This one's got the 9800 sensor in it and a ridiculous number of buttons, even a little thumb button or a sniper button right there. Almost too many buttons and too many things for some people, but some people are really going to like this. The positioning of these here I found to be a little bit, you know, I take a little bit of getting used to for that. As far as the shapes go, hand kind of, this sits a little high here, you guys can see. So you, if you want something that has sort of a higher arc, this might be good for you. Let's take a look at this one. This one has the 3050 sensor, which is a really good sensor if you are doing, you know, like gaming on a budget, but it's also, you know, an infrared sensor, so it's nice. Got some contour right here, and grip, and then you can change out these. The price on this, they said, is going to be like under 30 bucks. And then also change out the sides here. Let me pull this off. There we go. Just taking that side off, and then you can pop that side on there to have your favorite side. Right there you go. As far as the RAM goes, they've got a few different modules. They want some feedback because these are not the finished IDs on these. They want to know if you want more LEDs. They're putting LEDs on top for sure, but that's their RAM right over here. You guys have seen these SSDs before. You guys have seen the Hellfire before, but check out the Scorch. This is a lower price, still has a 3D NAND flash memory, but this one is going to give you reads of 1200 and writes of about 800 megabytes a second. So it's lower speed, lower temperature, you know, good lower cost. So that's the whole idea here, is that a lot of people don't need, you know, a gazillion megabytes per second, and they can still get something that's quite a bit faster than a regular SSD and save some money. So lastly, check this out. A couple new memory modules. They've got these tiny little guys up here that are going to be, you know, V30. So that's going to be able to support 4K video. And then down here, those are a little bit less expensive. And these are, you know, they're slower, but they're made to be inserted into your phones, expanding that memory. So all kinds of cool stuff from Patriot this year. Let us know what you think. Kingston, much more quiet in here. It's nice. You guys want to see some insane storage? So check that out. That is 4 controllers on one card. 1.25 million IOPS right there. Now what's cool about this is having the 4 different controllers. You can address each one of those separately, or you can stripe them. So if you want insane speed, stripe them. If you want just lots of different storage, or, you know, whatever, wherever you want, all these workers over here. Why are there 8 workers? And why are there that many IOPS? So they're just measuring the performance of 2 of these things. This is a U.2, 2.5-inch solution right there. This one's not quite as fast because it's this one's going to be a Gen 3x4. This is Gen 3x8 over here. Still, you got 850 IOPS on that one too. Similar solutions here. but put them both in your system. And I want to see someone build a gaming system with this. I know it's enterprise grade, but it looks really nice. I mean, this would fit right into a gaming system. One more thing to note, US only on this for now. Testing the markets in other places, but US only. This is their newly released M.2 Gen 3x4. 2700 on the read and 1600 on the write, and it's Phison controller as well. And up to 960 gigabyte capacity. It also has 240 and 480. But look at that little guy. That is nice. You guys have seen most of this stuff before. Have you ever seen that? This little guy right here, it looks like some sort of a sci-fi, I don't know, flashbang or something. That's 2 terabytes right there. 2 terabyte USB 3.1 flash drive. 300 on the read and 200 on the write, so it's like it's at 2 speeds. It comes with this fancy little kit over here that has the cord and a little bag, but that thing is ridiculous. A lot of space in a small case. It's coming out very soon. This is the HyperX Pulsefire FPS. Now this is featuring the 3310 sensor, and they've limited that to 3200. It's going to be a few different steps right here. They're doing 400, 800, 1600, and 3200, and you can change it right there on the back. The form factor is similar to maybe like a Death Adder or something like that. It feels really solid, guys. Like, this stuff feels really premium. It's got the braided cable, which you guys know that I think is a little heavy, but it's up to you guys what you think. Rubber texture right here. This reminds me of like a Zowie or something like that. You know, like very minimal, very simple. It does what it needs to do. It'd be really good for competitive FPS gaming. Just 2 buttons here on the side, no nonsense. Moving right over here, this is the HyperX Alloy FPS Pro. It's really dark, so it's hard to see. This has an incredibly tiny footprint. Look how thin that is. Comes in one color, Cherry MX. You get it in a few different varieties of the Cherry MX. But I love the size of this thing and the minimalism that they've got. This is a nice little desk setup right here. This is the HyperX Alloy Elite RGB. And the aesthetic is going to be completely up to you. A lot of the stuff you can do right here, you can do stuff in the software, of course, but you can go in the software and reprogram every single button. There's no like bank of macro keys on the side. But guys, this feels unbelievable. This might be one of the best keyboards as far as just like the build quality, like touching this thing. It feels really nice, really solid. Up here you can change the brightness, change the modes right here. Let's change that mode. And then you have a button dedicated for in-key rollover. They call it ghosting, but you know, right there it is. Very interesting. Media keys up here, and the roller for your volume. Just want to reiterate, this thing feels really premium. So that's the HyperX Alloy Elite. Let us know what you guys think in the comments.